Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for this very special review of old Cherrybomb. Yes, this is Cherrybomb, old GrandDad 114, a very special project by the Nebraska Bourbon Society and the Nebraska whiskey scene at large. So this is one that one Tony Granulus G Esquire. Yes.
Don't love that.
Well, that's your new middle name now. We finally found a way to acquire said bottle. Yes, yes. NBS, Nebraska Bourbon Society, the heel of the NBS, was still able to get a bottle. Some of your finest juice.
Well, I got a bottle, and he's going to get to taste it.
Yeah, well, because he's the baby face of the group, but that's beyond the point. Okay, so what we have here, T, well, I start opening this. What's the story to all this?
So I've got the information from Facebook. There was a high-regarded member, N.A. Anthony, in the NBS. So what we've got here. I love the artwork on this, by the way. It's absolutely beautiful. Photoshopping. What we've got here is just a standard bottle of old GrandDad 114.
Oh,
beautiful. Yeah. So, a 5-gallon barrel fit about 25 bucks. Okay, so I'm trying to find the exact
specs here.
Yeah, the exact specifications. Here's a procedure. The old GrandDad will be funneled into barrels. He kept the barrels in his basement storage room. Temp ranged from 65 to 72. Normal humidity to prevent as much evaporation as possible. He will be checked it daily to make sure there weren't any leaks. He'd personally be thieving about, 0.25 ounces weekly to check the quality and flavor. So quality control was constant. Multiple contacts, done this before, so this is something that's they've done multiple and currently right now doing a 1920 Old Forester batch with cherry vanilla brandy, I believe. So the old GrandDad 114 beat out a lot of other options, but it came down to Elijah Craig's small batch, Buffalo Trace, and of course OGD 114. And honestly, I'm so glad it was this, because out of the three, this is my clear favorite, and it beat out a lot of other options. Now, there were some other options in terms of what the finish was going to be, but the Cherry Brandy in an American Oak barrel was the clear-cut winner, and it was by a very large margin, beating out Apple Brandy, Peach Brandy, Rum, Honey. I mean, we went everything from charred American Oak, port, weeded whiskey. There were a lot of other small options, but it kind of felt like everybody was on agreement that old GrandDad 114 with a cherry brandy finish has got to be something special. And I'm so glad I got in on this, because it was a very, it was a pretty small percentage of people who got in on this project, and I'm so glad.
I think you need to take this up to your team.
I would love to. Oh my God, does the cherry brandy come through?
You know what I'm getting on the nose?
Wow.
Those Bing cherry candies and butterscotch.
Yeah, butterscotch. That's a great. That is spot on.
The two things I'm getting immediately is Bing cherry candy and butterscotch.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
Any other information that the folks at home need on this, T?
So I've got some information on the nose, the palate, and the finish, but I won't. We'll get into that after we.
Well. Now you're talking with actual experts here, okay? Yeah. So we'll tell you what the nose and palate is. I mean, I already got Bing cherry candies, butterscotch.
Oh my God, you're right, butterscotch. Like the hard candy butterscotch. Not a syrup, but the hard candy. Oh my God.
Yeah, like those little hard candies your grandma would give you at church.
Yeah, I said the proof on this ended up being about 114 to 116, so it actually did go up in proof.
See? Sludgiva. Boy, is that butterscotch
coming my
palate.
Oh, wow.
The Bing cherry candy, not as much. It's there, but not as much. But boy, this is.
Oh, wow.
butterscotch.
There's a cherry vanilla finish, though.
Yeah, like cherry vanilla Coke.
Yeah.
Okay, like not like you're actually chewing on
Oh,
a cherry,
man.
but like you're drinking a cherry vanilla Coke, but a lot of butterscotch.
Oh, man. That's fantastic.
That is gorgeous.
Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, wow. I'm loving everything about that. There's nothing I don't love about
Okay,
that.
so what did they claim
Oh,
on
my
the notes?
goodness.
Because a lot of butterscotch, not like even the typical old granddad notes aren't really coming through all that hard because it's so butterscotchy.
Whew. So early on, it changed a little bit, but so during the changes, the nose had a wild cherry cola, followed by this creamy berry nose. I could see that. And then more of a sweet oaky butterscotch. Nailed it. Palate had a more pronounced fruity berry cherry note. I agree. Middle stays sweet, and the finish is initially sweet cherry berry that finishes with the charred oak. Yep, couldn't agree more.
Yep.
Finish slight berry with charred oak in that old granddad funk, if you will. For a few more weeks to get that finish where they wanted it, but man, those in the front were on point, and that was back in late April. And then in May, tasted it, said this is going to be where we want it. And if you can't tell, it's changed to a dark amberish red, and indeed it has. And they got it all bottled. So this was bottled it was bottled by May 13th. I was trying to find exactly the
This is gorgeous.
the finishing
Well, let me
window.
say, as someone, we've reviewed a whiskey or two in our day.
Many.
We've reviewed a finished whiskey or two in our day.
Yes, indeed we have.
And I will say that whoever is responsible for the finishing of this, you did a spectacular job.
Wow.
You almost shouldn't let the wider distillery world know, because now you're going to have a job that's going to take up too much of your time. You know what I mean? Because if that's something you want to do, I hope you have a lot of spare time because you're skilled at what you do.
Yeah, and Anthony, you outdid yourself with this one. This one's fantastic. Yeah, I really wish I'd seen that Old Forester post in time to get in on that. Man.
Like almost like the cola bubble. You know what I mean? Well, Tony, now we get to the interesting part, the grading. We're going to grade this on a couple of 5-star scales. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by, the K.O.E. Nation has advised you will. So
I can't, usually I've got some in my glass when I do the ratings. Unfortunately, I already finished my glass. So.
Well...
Oh, hey, there's more!
Yep. Turns out
that's
this...
plenty. Oh, that's plenty. I'll share. Yeah. There we go.
Oh,
gosh.
Daisies.
It's really good, but I know we're going to do something else after this.
Yeah, it is review now. But all right, so we're going to grade this as bourbon, as a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit. We're going to grade it as a Nebraska project.
Okay? Yeah.
That includes even things like Golden Sheaf, Nebraska, general Nebraska projects.
Sure.
It's shelving, and for those new to the show, the secret fifth, actually no, 6. Whoa, math, how does it work, folks? 6 questions. So Tony, as a bourbon,
I think this one, I believe it was 5 weeks, to be exact, on the finishings.
Okay.
I could be wrong. And Anthony, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm actually pretty curious, but because he said it could take longer. But I think this came together, like in terms of color, palette, nose, finish, and everything. He was doing the tasting and everything. It got to where it is here, I think, quicker than expected. So I think that comes from, again, underrated quality product. But unfortunately, what did we say when we first reviewed OGD 114 on the K.O.E. Nation? Oh, this is a hidden gem, and unfortunately the bourbon community knew it, because guess what? It's gone up probably $15 in price. It's the first time I bought it at like $25 a bottle. Now you're going to be paying about $40.
There's also rumors that they're going to quit making it.
Yeah,
So
those rumors, I just want to say, fuck you.
because what they're going to do is take the same juice, age it a little bit longer, put it in a bottle for 4 times more.
Completely unnecessary,
And
because it's
people
already
buy it.
amazing. Yes, I will. But it's already amazing. Don't fuck with our shit.
I know, this is so good. So as a bourbon,
This is really good.
how would you rate this?
As a bourbon, this is, I don't know what I can't remember what I rated OGD 114 from the get-go, but
At least 4 stars.
I think it was in that territory. So adding this extra finish, I don't feel like it hurts this particular whiskey at all. You sometimes with a finish on a bourbon, it really detracts as a bourbon. I don't feel like that's the case at all here. So I'm gonna go 4 stars solid.
4 stars solid.
Yeah. Again, it's finished.
I'm gonna agree with you. 4 stars solid as a whiskey, but now here's the interest. Or now as a bourbon, as a whiskey, 4.5 stars. Have you had
as a whiskey? I'm gonna go 4.75.
Okay, because I was about to say, T, you just had George T. Stagg to kind of wet your whistle earlier tonight, and this is
like I'm
as delightful, if not more.
I'm gonna tell you, folks. If those are my 3 options, like, I'm gonna be hard pressed not to pick this.
That'll be my first. This will be my second.
That's really
saying something.
Good. Really good.
That'll be my third. Okay, because that's how good this is. So
I'm telling you, Old GrandDad 114 is a very, very amazing underrated bourbon. Not as underrated as it once was, but this
now,
finish
it's with this finish is what I'm talking
right, absolutely. This finish does not hurt it at all. As a whiskey, it does nothing but this high proof of up to 116, I think actually makes it more appealing because of the flavors and the finishing here. Like, even if you wanted to put this on ice and offer this to someone who doesn't typically drink bourbon or high proof bourbon, and you put this on ice, maybe a drop of water, I don't know how it would open up, but I think they would be blown away.
Well, let me put it to you this way, T. This finish took what's a great whiskey already. And this is something that you could give to an experienced whiskey aficionado. You could also give to a whiskey newbie, a neophyte. Put it on the rocks.
Yeah.
They'd love it. Okay, so this is...
You could mix this with a cherry vanilla Coke, but that would be fucking moronic because it already has all those wonderful flavors there.
All this really needs is an ice ball.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go cubes because...
Yeah, just one big ice ball, or even just those Scotch rocks that are chilled.
Yeah,
however you want to get there.
Too.
But
yeah, this cold would be... Yeah.
Now, okay.
Dangerous.
As a cask aged spirit, I'm going to go 4.75 because it's not cask aged perfection. Boy, is it close.
I'm going to go, since this is not the distillery's doing, but, you know, the Nebraska Bourbon Society took what was already great and helped make it even better. I can't give it 5, but I'm going to give it a 4.8 because I can't just go 4.75. I'm going to give it 4.8.
Very well done. Now, as a Nebraska project,
this is a 5-star as a Nebraska project. My God.
This is one of the best Nebraska projects. Like, this is up there with Golden Sheep. This is up there with like everything. God. So yeah, 5 stars. I gotta agree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. T, it's the first one. Bam! 5 stars as a Nebraska project.
That's beautiful.
Now,
keep that in mind next time, NBS. Let's talk. We've got some really good bourbon made here in Nebraska. That should be the next project. Don't even put it to a vote. Like, what do we need to vote here? Loop River bourbon, finished in like a rum cask or something. Let's make that happen. Like, come on.
Rum or sherry would be amazing.
That would be lovely. Let's talk. Let's do this. I'm in.
Now, we get to the shelving, T.
Ah!
Now, the thing is, like, for flavor, it's a top shelf, but it's so weird and niche that most people aren't going to know what the hell this even is.
Here's the thing. This is such a limited run that this kind of has to be on the top shelf.
True. This is going to be the only time you get one.
Yeah.
So that is also the secret sixth question. When this bottle runs empty, will you seek another?
Boy, I wish I could.
Because you probably won't be able to.
Yeah, I kind of wish I made like 8 burner accounts on Facebook and got another 7 bottles of this when I had the chance. Because this is exactly my wheelhouse. Like, I'm so glad this was the first one of these projects I got in on, because the whiskey that won the vote was the one that I wanted to, and the finishing was the one I wanted to, and like everything about this I knew was going to be right in my wheelhouse. And
I feel like if
it exceeded.
One of you or I would have showed up to pick it up like 7 times, like different disguises, like a little, glasses, nose, and mustache. Like, yes, I'm here to pick up my bourbon.
Yes, I'm Mortimer, here to pick up my my first bottle of
My name
Cherrybomb.
is Bill K.O.E. No one sees that coming.
Oh, it's beautiful stuff.
So, yeah. T,
exceeded.
As I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this very special review of this Nebraska Bourbon Society very special project. Oh, Cherrybomb! Yes, folks, it's not for everyone. I disagree. Okay, this is 114 Old GrandDad, Kentucky, by way of Nebraska itself. Folks, I'm your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast hour. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. God bless every last one of you. I hope all of you make it back here to the K.O.E. Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser, and I am signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
the blend master of ceremonies himself, your 16-time Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast champion, non-chill filtered, quadruple distilled. And folks, this is one cherry I'm sure glad I popped.